For 25 years, my passion has been inspiring the greatness within high achieving high school students. And I really believe with all my heart that if they're properly motivated and if they see a big enough future and a path to that future, that they're the people that can change the future of the world because they are so smart, because they are really people who know where they want to go and how they want to make that change. So the way we do that is we create these stadium events during the summertime, and there's 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people there, both those super high achieving students and their parents, because it really does take a village. And then we put in front of those young people the greatest minds in the world in the areas that they're interested in. And I really specialize in the medical field and in the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and math. So you can really think of it as a cross between a Tony Robbins event and a TED conference. I was just amazed, frankly, because it just filled this void that I think that certainly I had, and I think a lot of businesses have. Of how do we get the information? How do we get the referral data? How do we get great testimonials? We know we need to do it, but when are we going to spend the time? When are we going to make the effort? Well, you just have to do this one thing, and then it all kind of happens in an automated fashion. That's fantastic. I think what you're doing is a breakthrough. I think it's a really big deal. I think that in all honesty, folks that are watching this would be very foolish not to try it if they have the slightest, if they have a business that has the slightest kind of good mesh with what it is that you do. Bottom line, I think it's extraordinarily reasonably priced, period. And then when you think of what you get in return for it and what it would cost you to do it yourself, if you remembered to do it, if you could get the staff to do it, it's a complete and utter no-brainer. I mean, look, you either understand that you've got to build trust with your prospects or you don't get it. And if you do, then you need a process to get that trust built and maintained and to collect testimonials. And referrals, which are the very, very strongest kind of business you can get. Again, as I've said, I've never seen anything like it, and it adds this whole dimension to our business that we've never had before, which is without any particular effort on our part, all except for I would call it a pretty minor effort on the front end to answer questions from Dr. Jeannie and help her get things set up, then not only for now, but all the time in the future, it's just going to work. So what was amazing about this process that you've invented is that it's really automated, and it allows you to take your customers, in my case, and create a pool of individuals that not only assess what it is that you've sold them, and looking for both the good, the bad, and room for improvement, but then automatically, and I mean literally automatically, also collects testimonials from those individuals and allows you to just put them onto your website. And I shouldn't say allow you, it actually does it for you. So think about it for a minute. In my world, we do large-scale programs for high-achieving students. Well, the parent has to part not only with money, but also has to part with their child. So that's a really high hurdle. And for us to be able to use this process and get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of parents who have been through our programs to say, yes, it was wonderful, and in detail, question after question after question. And then in that same process to also leave us literally hundreds of testimonials without us having to invest our time and resources into actually getting those is pretty darn spectacular in my view. People are more and more immune to single testimonials. I don't think they give them really all that much heed because they obviously think that it's someone that you've picked out of a large group that is very positive towards what it is you're selling. But we know in the age of Amazon and Uber and so on that people put in a lot of trust in the opinion of the crowd, the group. And the wonderful thing about this process, the system, is that when I present this information to prospects, I'm not presenting the results of one or two or three or 10 people. I'm presenting, in my case, the results of 500 or 600 people. And when you do that, especially since your process is so scientific, so that I can say, and this is how this survey was conducted. If you're thinking of using SurveyMonkey, understand that that's just a little piece of the process that is created here. I mean, what Dr. Genie has put together is the survey instrument, which is quantitative, in which you can talk about the quantitative method, which is important, as I said. But then the whole automated process of collecting these, of then also collecting the testimonials behind them, then deploying that on your site. I mean, it literally just happens. You want to be able, when you communicate this information, to say that it was collected in a professional manner, and you want to be able to talk about the methodology. That's part of what makes it believable. So using a professional like Dr. Genie, where this is her whole world, that in and of itself is a positive. She is absolutely delightful, as we both know, and incredibly easy to work with. But the big plus with her is that she has the mind of a marketer. And the problem with so many firms that you might hire to go out and do a poll or a survey is they don't. They just don't. And she looks at every angle from the angle of a marketer. How will this help us sell? How will this help us convert? That makes all the difference in the world. And because she's used to working in that environment, I found the Dr. Genie experience to be completely frictionless, but above that, just a really enjoyable experience.